Greetings, Malifaux fans. This is Crazy Carl, back with another Malifaux video battle report. Today I'm bringing you a 35 Soulstone scrap against Chris, aka Twisted Metal on the Weird forums. One of my more common opponents, although Chris and I haven't gotten many games in recently. I think we've gotten maybe 2 in like the past 2 months, so very, very few games, low-frequency games. Hopefully we can get that fixed, although with spring coming, the weather getting nice, it's not likely. But we'll do what we can. Today we played Outcasts versus 10 Thunders, and it was going to be Chris's first time playing against Leviticus, and my second time playing against New Misaki. So Chris brought along Misaki, a pair of Torakage, Ototototo, a 10 Thunders Brothers, and Yamaziko, which left him with, I think, 8 stones. I'm not sure. You can do the math yourself later if you really want to. Didn't bring Shang. I think he just didn't have the stones for it. I think it was probably right. I like Shang, but he seems pretty easy to kill sometimes. But I don't know. What do I know? For what it's worth, we were playing Shared Distract, so Misaki's a great choice for that because Misaki picks the Master and then kills it. I was playing Outcasts, and I figured my best bet would be to kill off his Master, whoever it might be, with Leviticus. So I brought along Leviticus with his Hollow Waif, obviously. A Cannon Remains to turn the other Waif, the Drowned, Izamu, and what else was the other one? Oh yeah, and a Rotten Bell. And then I had what's her name? Bête Noire sitting off the table. Wow, I'm just really in top form today. So I had a pretty killy crew. Chris ended up taking Kill Protege on Izamu and then Breakthrough, whereas I had Stake a Claim on the giant hill you saw in the center of the board, and then what was the other one? Oh yeah, Soulless Life to have Leviticus die and come back a couple times. So the game started out pretty quickly with Chris getting really aggressive. He used a Torakage to move up and then swap with Misaki, which allowed her a first turn diving charge plus melee expert on Izamu, only netting him 4 damage on him because he didn't have any severes, so he kept on hitting moderates, and the moderates got knocked down to 2 from his Object 2. I thought I was in pretty good shape. I was able to cheat in some crows to keep him from getting Decapitate. I thought I was pretty clever cheating in a mask one turn to deny him Pilfer, and then he informed me that only models that use Soulstone have Pilfer. So that was less cool than I thought it would be. The little hill there in the center of the board I thought would be a really good spot for my Rotten Bell, just kind of a sight over everything that was going on the board. So I stuck her up there, and I brought the Drowned up with her. With the 2 of them, I figured I could really control Chris's movement with his models. As it turned out, I was able a little bit, but not in any meaningful fashion. The other Torakage got kind of left behind, whereas everybody else just kind of advanced up. Leviticus made a second waif, but wasn't able to do anything meaningful. Even after Chris had diving charging with Misaki, he used Your Mind, so I couldn't effectively shoot into the melee with any of Leviticus' spells. So I was effectively neutered for a turn, which was pretty brutal. Going into the second turn, Izamu was killed, and then Misaki went and killed off... Did she kill Leviticus? No, she did not kill Leviticus. She got Leviticus down to 2, which was pretty key, because it gave me an activation with him where I got to do something. As it was, he swapped with a Torakage, which I was able to survive that attack with Leviticus as well, and I used the Death Stick to just pummel him down. And out of the Torakage, I had Bête Noire pop out. Bet was charged by he was charged by a Toto, which was pretty risky on my part because I didn't have any 10s left in my hand. But fortunately, she has a really high defense, so she was able to live, and then attacked back and killed off a Toto with a Slit Jugular. So I was feeling really good at this point in the game. There's Misaki sitting up on the hill where she was swapped with the Torakage. The other Torakage, the second one on the first turn, did his Shadow Strike, so that's how he got up onto that tower there. And we actually learned something interesting going through the rules. Leviticus places his waifs after the Torakages come out from Shadow Strike, so that meant I originally placed my waifs, and then Chris placed the Torakage right next to him. I'm like, well, that sucks. That's not good for me. And then we double-checked it, and it actually works out that I get to place them afterwards. So I was able to place them safely, which I think I did a pretty good job of my waif placement. This is my second game playing with Leviticus, and I feel like my waif placement was pretty strong. Problem being, Misaki has a 2-inch range, and she's on a 16L base, so if she charges directly between a waif and Leviticus, it's possible for her to kill them both in one activation, which is pretty brutal. There you can see the center of the board where my Rotten Bell did pretty much nothing for the first 4 turns of the game, as did this Torakage. It was just kind of like hanging out in the back. I guess Chris was intending to use it more as a escape point if need be, but I don't think it was really necessary. I was able to get off a unnatural wasting on Misaki when she was up on the hill because I survived with... Oh yeah, Leviticus killed off the... the Torakage, which got me out of close combat, which meant I was able to shoot. That was the only activation I got of Leviticus in the game where I did anything meaningful. The rest of the game here, you can see a split with the waif and Leviticus at the end of my turn 3. The rest of the game was just spent with Chris diving charge Misaki in between Leviticus and a waif, and then just killing them both off, and it was really rough. I was safe with the second wave, but this is I think turn 4, turn 3. There were 2 turns where I had I set myself up so I had a clear line of shot against Misaki if I won initiative. She was sitting on only 5 wounds, so that means within 2 attacks she was going to die, but I just did not win any of the meaningful initiative flips. So as a result, Chris was able to lock down Leviticus really easily, and with Izama being out of the game, that left my only hitter being left as Bête Noire, which is good. But the problem is she doesn't really kill things very well on her own right away. And a lot of Chris's stuff has long melee ranges. So it took me a turn to get maneuvered into a spot where I could actually affect everything. Here you can see where I was able to affect everything. I had the Drowned moving around Yamaziko and the Torikage to keep them all within Bet's melee range. I was planning on keeping Bet around and spiking her in there, but Chris did get one lucky hit off with, I think, a 10 Thunder's Brother or Torikage, one of the two, and did do a wound to Bet, which was pretty huge, as he then... I cast Riptide using the Drowned on Yamaziko, and got a Black Joker on Bête Noire's defense flip for the defense 11 to not take 2 wounds. So that meant she took 2 wounds going down to 1, and my Drowned, I'd used the Driven by Purpose unnecessarily 1 turn, and between that and another attack, Chris was able to kill off the Drowned, which buried Bête Noire, which was not very good for me, as you will see very shortly. The Bell was sitting up on the top, and it was a big cluster stuff, so the Drown did a lot of damage, but it only knocked things down to 1. Yamaziko went down to 1, the 10 Thunders went down to 1, and I think the Torikage was still sitting at like 4, so he was fine. But the problem was I needed Bet to be in the way, because this is on turn 4. I had my waif sitting in the trees where you can see the 10 Thunder's Brother at the end of this picture. The 10 Thunder's Brother would not have been able to use his push through, or what is it, run through? I think it's a run through ability, to get around Bête Noire and then attack the waif. However, he was able to walk twice and then melee expert the waif down and hit the moderate on his, I think, triple negative. It was either single negative or triple negative damage flip, and he killed her off. Oh, no, he has straight flip. He has straight flip on that. On that turn, however, Misaki hit a moderate on her double negative damage flip against the other waif and killed it off. So bad turn for me. I lost Leviticus. I lost the waifs. I lost Bête Noire. I mean, she was able to bury with one with the knight, so it wasn't the end of the world. I had a 10 sitting in my hand, but it meant that I lost Leviticus, which was my only real thing that was keeping Misaki under control. And at that point, Misaki was just able to go off and do whatever she wanted. The only model I was left with at this point was the Bell. So Chris just kind of spread his stuff out. He wasn't going to kill the Bell to trigger off the waif. I actually did have an out on turn 5. If I had somehow hit Misaki, I had drawn the Red Joker, so I could have cheated in the Red Joker with, I think I had 12 or 13 of crows, which would have given me the Rot trigger, which I could have gotten to a straight flip, maybe got my damage off, and cheated in a Red Joker and severed and killed off Misaki because she was at 5, so even with a severe flip she wouldn't have died, but it ended up not being the case. I tried to lure instead of walking up and attacking, which was kind of a mistake. That said, I probably wasn't going to hit her anyway. He was just going to use Soulstones to get away from it, but it was still a mistake, so I should have done things differently. So as it was, I spent my turn 6 walking the waif over to the hill, and she sat on it, giving me 2 points for my Stake of Claim, which was nice. I did not get my 2 points for my Soulless Life because Leviticus died. He was not in play at the end of the game. He died 4 times, but he didn't stay in play at the end of the game. Chris ended up getting 4 points for Distract because he had no Masters, and he just walked Misaki into my deployment zone, which wasn't hard for her to do. I had no Master in his deployment zone. He got 2 points for his Breakthrough as a result of that, and then he also had his 2 points for Kill Protege, which he got very early on. So it ended up being an 8-2 in Chris's favor. Brutal game. This reminds me a little bit of the game I played with Corey the other day, and he had Misaki as well, and I was playing Leviticus. And I think Leviticus is just... I'm not sure. I'd love if somebody could correct me with this. I'm pretty sure Leviticus can't beat Misaki. That said, with a couple of good initiative flips, I could have, but that's depending on a lot. So I think it's a really, really tough match for him. If anybody has any tips, that'd be great. I don't really know. Chris is one of the best Leviticus players I know, and he was at a loss. He really had no idea what to do. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and any comments or suggestions below would be really appreciated, because I really like Leviticus and I want to get some more games into them. So I'll see you guys hopefully soon with another game.